Happy Monday. Hi, Balboa Scholars. It is Mindset Monday, and we are back with another lesson for the week. Let's remind ourselves that I am Miss Faraj. I am one of the second grade teachers here at Balboa, and we are going over social emotional learning. Another name for social emotional learning is SEL. Today, we will be talking about something called empathy. Can you say that word with me? Empathy. Empathy. Very good. By a show of hands, can you show me how many of you have heard or know what the word empathy means? Take a look at the 3 pictures that I added. Here's 1, 2, and 3. This might give you a hint to what empathy means. So in our first picture here, we see the word empathy very large with other words around it, like hear, compassion, heart, present, connect, listening, feelings, emotional, I hear you. In the next picture, you see somebody putting their arm around someone else. Maybe their head is leaning against each other. And in the last picture, you see 2 heads. One says you, one says me, and then together it says we. So keep those in mind while we go through our lesson. Boys and girls, we're going to go over our objectives for today. Remember, our objective is our goal. It's our goal. We want to make this by the end of the day. We want to learn these things. Number 1, let's read them together. I can define empathy. So define means to know what it means, to be able to tell somebody what that means. So by the end of the lesson today, you should be able to look at somebody and say, I know what empathy means, and empathy means this. Number 2, I can, go ahead and read with me, I can recognize the feelings and perspectives of others. So we already know what feelings are. Perspectives means that everyone looks at something in another way. Boys and girls, we're going to watch a short video, and I want you to listen closely.
Everybody has feelings or emotions, happy, sad, proud, angry. But everyone doesn't always feel the same way about the same things. It's important that we learn to understand and care about what others might be feeling. Let me tell you about the time I was hanging with a friend of mine. It was summer, I was at the beach with my new boogie board right next to me. I was so excited, I couldn't hide it, but my friend's eyes had widened. His face was pale and his hands were shaking.
How do you think he's feeling right now?
I walked over, I wanted more information. Are you okay? You seem upset. I want to make sure that you're all set. He said, I'm afraid to swim. I tried to imagine what it was like for him. I was excited, but he seemed like he didn't want the water past his knees. Well, I like swimming, but I'm afraid of bees, cause a bumblebee once stung me. I said, I know what it's like to be scared. Instead of swimming, let's go play over there.
Notice how the friend kind of felt what his other friend was feeling. He walked over and he noticed maybe his facial expression showed something. He walked over and said, Are you okay? How are you feeling? When he noticed he was sad, it made him think about the times he felt sad or the times he felt scared. This is called putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Have you ever heard of that saying?
You can bury me in the sand, and he really like that plan. Oh man, I got empathy, I got empathy. If you need a friend, you can count on me. I put myself in other people's shoes to understand their thoughts and their moves. I got empathy, I got empathy. If you need a friend, you can count on me. I put myself in other people's shoes to understand their thoughts and their moves. I was playing tag at recess. Leah's usually the fastest, but I noticed something different. She was running slow like a turtle that's limping. She'd been pouting for an hour, making a face like she ate something sour. I was having fun, but Leah was not. I tried to say, but she turned away. It was kind of rude, but then I thought, when I'm upset, sometimes it's hard to talk. So I took a step back. She turned and said, I'm just sad. My dog ran away. He's missing.
So that reminds me of something. Sometimes you see your friends and they're acting really upset or they're mad, and you're like, well, that's kind of rude. Or I don't like the way you're acting. You shouldn't be acting that way. But boys and girls, we have to learn to be empathetic, and that's why we're practicing this today. This means to take a step back and to think, well, there's a reason they're acting that way. So notice how he asked her, is everything okay? After she was very angry and walked away. And it's because she's sad about her dog.
Looked at Leah and I listened. I put myself in her shoes and thought, losing a dog you love must hurt a lot. I said, I'm so sorry. I'd be sad too. Is there anything I can do to help you? Leah said, let's go on the swings. And so we did. Now let's sing. I got empathy, I got empathy. If you need a friend, you can count on me. I put myself in other people's shoes to understand their thoughts and their moves. I got empathy, I got empathy. If you need a friend, you can count on me. I put myself in other people's shoes to understand their thoughts and their moves.
Let's think for a moment. What are some things that make you feel happy, sad, angry, excited? How do you act when you feel these ways? I'm sure you act differently when you're happy or sad or angry or excited. Take a moment to think about that. Now, it's very important as a part of empathy to show your friends or your family that you are listening. Listening is a big part of empathy. So let's ask ourselves, how could you show someone that you're really listening? What does careful listening look like? If I'm looking at you right now and I say, are you listening carefully? Are you going to be slouching? Are you going to be looking away? Are you going to be talking to somebody else? No. Your eyes are you're giving eye contact to that person. Eye contact is a big thing for listening, careful listening. You also might give facial expressions that you're listening. You might nod, you might agree. So it's important to watch a person's body and their facial expressions. Listen to how they're feeling. Listen to what they have to say. Those feelings are clues. Just like the video when the boy saw the girl and she was like, I don't want to talk. She gave her body, she gave a shoulder to the boy, but it was really because she was sad about her dog. So again, take a moment to really listen to those people. Let's ask ourselves one last question. If you found out your friend or classmate was feeling sad, what would you say? How would you help them feel better? Maybe they're sad because they lost their pencil and they can't find one. Maybe they're sad because something happened at home. Again, listening to your friends, listening to your classmates, listening to your families is very, very important. By listening to what they have to say, you're able to decide what you want to say back to them. So maybe you might say something like, well, I understand how you feel, and I felt that way before. Let's figure out what empathy means. Empathy means putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Not literally. You're not going to say, hey, give me your shoe. I want to put them on. No, you're just going to try to put yourself and think about how they feel, trying to understand how they feel. Sometimes, just like with the boy in the video, when challenging things happen to us and the girl, it's hard to have empathy. It is, and that's okay. But having empathy can help us connect with others who have been through similar experiences. So, did you notice in the video that the girl said, I lost my dog and I'm really sad? Well, the boy showed empathy by thinking about how would he feel if he lost his dog. So you're kind of thinking about what you would do if that was your problem. And it shows that you are there for them in a meaningful way. Again, you love your friends, you love your family, you want to be there for them. You want to show empathy. Showing empathy is an important part of being a friend and a good citizen and a scholar. Getting along with people. It means that you can think about and understand how others are feeling. Try and remember a time that you felt that way. How did you feel? Let's talk about some scenarios. Scenarios are problems that we want to solve. You are on the playground at school and you see someone getting pushed to the ground. Put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel? How would you feel if somebody pushed you to the ground? What could you do to help? Would you go and help them? Would you talk to them and say, I feel sad for you, and I also feel that I understand how you feel because one time I got pushed to the ground and I felt very afraid, scared, and nervous? Could you call for help? There are many things that you could do to show empathy to this person. At recess time, there is someone sitting out with no one to play with. They're sitting by themselves. Put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel? What could you do to help? How would they feel and how would you feel? Think about their emotions. Has that ever happened to you? Maybe it hasn't, but you're supposed to be thinking about how would you feel if that did happen to you? And that'll help you react in a way to show empathy. They probably feel lonely, scared, nervous. Maybe it's their first day of school at a new school. What could you do? I like how some students are thinking about this. Empathy. Let's remember, empathy means you are able to understand the feelings of someone else. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. A few things to remember before we end our lesson. Try to imagine how you feel. Put yourself in their shoes. If this happened to you, what would you do? Maybe you're going to ask the person, how are you feeling? Or why are you feeling this way? You want to show that you care. Caring, being caring, that's a big part of empathy. All right, boys and girls, you have done fantastic today. Thank you for listening. I will explain to you your seesaw independent work. Today we learned about empathy. You're going to watch this video. Once you have completed watching this video, you are going to role play. And role play means to act out. You're going to become an actor or an actress. So pick a problem that your friend or family might have. For example, my brother broke his arm. Or my friend lost her puppy. Pick a problem. Think about it in your head for a moment. Number 2, you're going to come up and brainstorm with ways that you could show empathy towards them. You'll practice, and then you'll become your actor and actress. Maybe you want to add your sister in the video. Maybe you want to add a friend in the video. Maybe you want to use your stuffed animal to help you. Whatever you want. Be creative. Have fun and act it out. Boys and girls, you did a fantastic job today learning all about empathy, our feelings, and how to put ourselves in someone else's shoes. We look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great mindful Monday, and I cannot wait to see your videos.